All right. Let's get into other suggestion that ESPN gave here for the Giants on the draft night here. And they did a mock draft where the Giants traded down. And this is something that Rob and I, we've talked about this as a legitimate potential option. Now,
I like
in
options.
their scenario, Cam Ward went number 1 to the Titans, and Shedeur Sanders went number 2 to the Browns, which is a possibility, guys. It really is. I know that we're just talking about potentially neither team getting a quarterback, but I should say neither, but either Giants or the Browns getting a quarterback. But it is possible. That's how it goes. And it's all, that's when the phone call is going to happen, because the Giants would need their time in that scenario, because Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter are going to get people interested, point blank. And y'all know where I stand on him. I don't trust Abdul Carter in his foot injury, a stress reaction, or whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah.
You're too young to be having foot injuries. I want nothing to do with that. Travis Hunter, I don't think he's going to succeed. I feel like people are mishearing what I said, because I got a couple comments on the videos and stuff we did. It's not that I dislike Hunter. It's not that I think Hunter will be a failure in the NFL. He'll be a failure as an elite prospect in the NFL. There is a difference. He will probably peak out as a second receiver on the team. It's just my own opinion. I could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. Won't be the last. It's my opinion. But when you have those two guys as the top guys that everybody wants, if the Giants are at all in the same mindset as myself, which they may not be, who knows, why would you trade down when somebody else is going to want to take those guys? Those are the guys coming off the board now. So in this scenario, what they did is the Giants got from the Panthers pick number 8, the second round pick, next year's second round pick, and obviously they gave up the 3rd overall pick, and they gave up a 5th round pick. So they went from 5th round pick to a 2nd round pick, got into the 2nd round pick next year, and went down 5 spots. I can't hate that.
No, I mean,
I could say I'd probably want a little more, but like you said, point blank, make that decision. Which way are you going, Rob?
Probably going to trade down. Like, there's a good opportunity that you still might be able to get Shedeur.
Well, no, Shedeur's going to this scenario. That's what I'm saying. So Shedeur went number 2. So Ward went number 1. Shedeur went number 2.
Oh yeah. Either way, I would take it.
So here's what I look at in this. So you're at 8, okay. Again, Carter and Hunter are going to go 3 and 4 probably in that scenario. You got to think that's what's going to happen, and let's assume that that Hunter who goes first, Carter goes next. Tet will probably go to like the Patriots or somebody like that because they're desperate for a wide receiver. Now you're at pick 6, 7, 8, like in the exact range the Giants are. They can maybe still get a Mason Graham, a Will Johnson, or somebody really, really going to look at beefing up this defense a little more, because that's where the top end talent is really on defense. I know people want an offensive juggernaut, but unless you get Ashton Genty, that's the only really guy that I can sit there and say in that spot.
I was literally about to say there's a running back out there.
And listen, I wouldn't be against it.
That could replace a running back that we lost.
I would not be against it. And you know what the best thing for me in that would be is I feel like if he gets down to where Dallas is, where are they even drafting? I feel like Dallas would take him in a heartbeat, and it'd be hilarious to beat Dallas out in that. So Dallas is 12. But again, you have to, for a running back, this gets you back to the topic of Shedeur Sanders. You better be sure he's a stud. Like, he's got to be 1,000-yard rusher year in, year out to make that pick worthwhile.
Yeah.
I just, like I said, to me, there's not a lot of great players in this draft. And that's where I look at it.
But there's not a lot of top in the first.
But that's what I mean. Yeah.
Like,
that's what I mean by great.
Top. There's a lot of depth talent in this draft. Like, there's going to be a lot of good players in the 2nd and 3rd round that are going to be NFL. Like, they're probably going to have long NFL careers.
It's also, I don't think there's that much of a difference between picking 3 and picking, number 8 in that scenario. I really don't.
Not
again,
in this year's draft.
I'm biased because I don't like Hunter or Carter. That's where my bias comes in. So I will tell you guys that point blank. But I feel like there's a difference if you like those two and you think they're elite, like I know a lot of people do. I know I'm in the minority. But if you don't think they're elite and you got somebody else who does think they are, why not take the picks? I'm telling you guys right now, Mason Graham. We'll talk about him when we talk about the, the scouting reports. The more and more I watch this kid on tape, I think he's going to be the best player in this draft.
Yeah,
and there's not often I will say that about a defensive tackle. So you want to talk about elite? Because I put this up since JPW said, "Yeah, why give up an elite player for some middle of the road guys here? You need impact plays, not a collection of jags." This is what I'm saying. These aren't just not the guy. There's not that much of a drop off. In my humble opinion, even though I'm not humble at all. Yes.
But no, I think you're right. Like, number one, Cam Ward, was that been number one last year, the year prior? Probably not.
Yeah.
What Shedeur Sanders was eligible in the last year's draft. Where was his ranking? It's like 10, 12 of the quarterbacks coming up. And now you have a weak quarterback class coming up, and there was hype for him to be number one, but he dropped to number two, maybe even further down.
Jay says you need to find a trade partner too. Like I can say, yeah, I want a wife. Doesn't matter if everyone thinks I'm ugly. That's why you got to find the one that doesn't think you are, Jay.
Beauty's on the inside, my friend.
No, but that's what I mean. Like in this scenario, that's what they gave. They gave the Panthers that option again. Somebody's going to want Hunter. Someone's going to want a Carter. That's just. There's no doubt in that. You're not getting like 3 first-round picks or anything crazy for the pick. So,
if you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please